Unity. I chose this project because I wanted to look into Unity for a while, and I thought it would be interesting for you guys as well. Maybe it would be a learning process for me. So I thought it was a good idea to go for Unity and go look into things. So let's begin. First, I'm going to start off with saying things about Unity's functions. In Unity, you can create games of many things, all types of things. It can be 2D, it can be 3D, it can be FPS game, or it can be sandbox game, whatever you choose. In 3D, you can choose many supposed 3D objects that you can change. It's like, let's say, glare, or you can change many things of it. You can also show whether you want it to be third-person view or you really want it to be the FPS. Usually 2D, there's different stuff too. You could do sprites. For example, let's start off with, say, a game example like Soul Knight. They messed a lot of things with sprites, and they did some of these stuff as well. First off, when you're, let me say what I did in Unity first. What I did, I used the 3D graphics, and I used the FPS type of gaming in Unity. So I decided to make a 3D FPS game in Unity. And usually when you start off, you probably don't know what to do in the program. So you start off with prefabs. In prefabs, what a prefab is a building block, or can be a model, and usually does something, or usually runs a code. For example, let's say an enemy. An enemy is a character, and it runs a code. And it is vastly different from what I'm going to talk about next, which is models. And let's stay on the prefabs first. On prefabs is things you can interact with. Perhaps maybe you can make a door, it's probably in prefabs. There are also VFX things in prefabs. Usually a lot of people use that too. And in my starting game, I use a lot to do with prefabs. Models. That's what I'm going to talk about next. Models are textures. They are not prefabs because they don't really run a code, or they don't have to at least. They are basically gives the looks of a certain thing, like a prefab, basically. So you can give a model to, let's say, a wall, which can be on a prefab. So you can especially see what the wall is. And actually, in my game, I didn't put much texture on the wall. Moving on from that, I'm going to talk about what I think of Unity. I'm going to start off with the cons. The cons, there are a lot of problems. For example, I cannot map out where I want my enemy bot to be. The first problem I ran into during the progress in the first week is that I ran into a problem where I tried to make a first floor, which is the very bottom, and the second floor. In the first floor, I tried to make a place where you have to fight enemies, which are the hover bots on the game, which are part of the prefabs. I tried to put them at the floor, but they spawn underneath the floor, meaning they can't really attack you. And that's the first problem I came across. Other problems, such as camera angling, is also hard to do. There are a lot I wish that in Unity there are better camera anglings. For example, maybe you could have a setting where you can move your camera specifically inside the place, and then you can turn on that camera so you can see what is in there, or in what you're trying to build. Next. Pros. The pros are quite a lot in Unity. Maybe, let's say, if you want to learn something in Unity, there's always tutorials. And the tutorials can help you a lot, but I didn't use tutorials, sadly. And there are always things to help you. They also, for example, they put prefabs pre-made in there. So you can use it once it's in there. And just like I said, I started off with prefabs and started building from that to make some levels. Next, what I learned from Unity. What I learned from Unity is that you don't need to have any sort of experience on programming to do something, a basic level on Unity. You do not need 5 years of training on coding to learn Unity to make a simple game. All you need is interest in Unity and a passion to build something. And therefore you have a map, the prefabs, they help you out, models, you can do that, you can decorate your place, you can furnish what your levels would look like. Whatever, you have those things. You don't need so much experience. You can be as experienced as a beginner and you can still you can make the outcome of like 1 week of progress from a person that's way more experience. So from here I'm going to show my map, what I've done so far in Unity. And I would like to show this. In Unity I also had a problem where I came across I couldn't make textures. The textures were hard to put in. If I wanted to color something, I would have to go to materials and color. But let's skip that for now. As you can see, there's also another problem where if I put this guy over here, if I had put this bot over here, down, let's see, if you put this down here, I will show you what happened. So I start off from here. I'll activate the cheats so I can fly with the jetpack starting off. Right over here, you can also see, look at that. I put it inside the box, the drum, and it spawned underneath. But anyways, I have made these levels using prefabs only. Zero code, nothing. I put these as enemy bots as they shoot you if you get too close. And I put prefabs and I try to stretch them, as you can see, to make the walls bigger. And I also made some levels. I made loot, for example, over here. You can pick up shotguns or weapons. And yeah, this is what I did. I tried to make some leveling over here, as you can see. And if you're wondering where I put the drone, I put the drone previously over here and it spawned underneath. So anyways, this is my presentation, and any questions or comments?
How did you make the gravity?